Dawa everyday activities. 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 Soon on the break, think I know you to stay. You and your friends, boom, gossiping every day. But our everyday activities. Sometimes I get this, sometimes it's turn out to be positive. Come to my house, what you eat and you drink. Go to my neighborhood, you got it for me. What did they say? And they cannot in the truth. And like the everyday activity that I would do. So you know the spot, the better we can keep your body. Not in class, nobody can believe it. Go, everyday activity, don't want you to go. Get on the floor, tell them what we do. Everyday activity, something that we produce. Chill all day, make sure don't go to jail. But let the money spend, let them use their play. Soon on take free. One chicken say, Lioko. It's all classic. Dawa everyday activities. 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 We for the pandis of only another team. You are both okay. No more happily. How you need? Get my marvelous. Snaka, I'm more than Snaka. You get my home child, and you need to from my and what people back or little you're not a big free home.
Yo, hello. I want to talk about violence. More violence is indiscriminate. It can happen for any reason and to anyone. Until we do something to stop the surge of vigilante-side justice in this country, none of us will be saved. My Liberia is Liberia of hope. In my Liberia, it is possible. Violence is not part of my Liberia. Violence leads to property damage, injury, or even death, as we are seeing in recent months in several parts of Liberia, including Monrovia. Talk to people in your community about violence. Stand up against mob justice. Be a community hero. Liberia is all that we have. We must all unite to uphold the rule of law. Thanks for listening. This is Old Man Sam Simon.
We want peace in Liberia. Peace in Monrovia. We want peace in Liberia.
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Smart Road Junction on the Old Road?
Oh, no, Charles. Tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price Store got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LIB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors: Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Flow Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store, Gurley Street, and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
When you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so going deep and deeper. Put it to Ichiki.
Are you in search of a place you can get quality petroleum products? Well, I got news for you. Mayoba and Sons Incorporated is the company to meet all your petroleum needs. We are one of Liberia's leading importers and distributor of petroleum products on the Liberian market. We are fully capacitated to deliver your petroleum and diesel products anywhere in Liberia. Mayoba and Sons Incorporated, we do rental of dump trucks, tanker trucks, heavy equipment, D8, front loader, excavator. Our clearing and forwarding agency is fast, reliable, and can deliver your goods on time. Mayoba and Sons have improved the quality of reconstituted distributions and importation by financial institutions empowerment. Our head offices are located at the Garnersville Town Hall Junction on Barnesville Road and Freeport Sidman Compound on the Bourgeois Island. For more information, call us on cell numbers 0886 512 379, 0777 512 379, or 0777 255 030, or email us mayoba, mayoubahs @yahoo.com, or visit our website www.mayobaliberia.com. Our mission is to keep petroleum on the Liberian market stable, effective, and efficient. Our vision is that our presence be felt in the 15 counties with outstanding commitment. Mayoba and Sons, Liberia's pride.
What happened? Mama, you still do air?
No, let's still boy. Hey, yes, the mama to our party. I go see what I'm want.
Share mama, we are only down face.
For what a plan?
What tablet, man, piece, what tablet, piece.
No,
Boy. No, stop it. You can't do that. How you a boy human being? Let me know that Rosafi. Let me know that Rosafi. You tell human being you're a boy human being. Let's stop the kind of thing. If we catch criminal or somebody commit crime in our community or whatsoever, take that to the law or carry that to the nearby police station and report that to the police. Let the police themselves investigate and find out whether he right or wrong. Yesterday, I was coming from Keba. A brother walk along truck. I said, no, they said the truck hit the motorball ball. All the motorball men plus the keke men get and they say they want point the driver in the truck. It's wrong. Let's stop more violence. Maybe the accuser or somebody that you feel are criminal, they may not be criminal. But take that to the police station. Based upon the police investigation, they will tell you that they may that criminal or not. Please, my people.
Who are you?
You policeman.
Why you moppy?
Yeah, come here. You go to ask me as I do. Yes. All right. As I was saying, yeah, let's stop that kind of thing. Take it to the law. You not get one right under the law. Nobody right until the law can say you are right or wrong. Please, I beg you, my people.
Who say you?
If I say who tell you,
So say who?
so say oh man, same Zion. The man who get crime stopper. He the one say I'm gonna tell you. Nobody must take the law in their hand. Don't say in the mouth say oh man, same Zion say. You want it was you who will be the first now to come attack me.
That's true, yeah. I ain't there.
Yeah, you. Hey, all the time there. Oh, man, I'm looking at that teaser for you.
As soon as they pray, when chicken say, Kogolioko, so gossip.
Well, folks, a very pleasant welcome. Good morning, wherever you are joining our broadcast. We want to say welcome to the program from the print news here on Freedom Communications in Cabarita. Again, we are here. Today is Thursday, so we want to say welcome to the Thursday presentation of the program from the print news. And of course, this morning, as usual, we are here, the entire team. Wendell Nimna is here. We have Dakpana, we have Gus also on the line. That's our Radio LRP partners. So let's send controls to Wendell quickly. Good morning, Wendell. How are you?
I'm fine, Esther. Good morning, and good morning to all of you following us on this presentation, and welcome to the Thursday edition of the Print News. Gus and Dakpana, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Esther. That's Foreman.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gus, the Lofa team. Good morning, Wendell, And good morning, the lady with the sweet voice, the voice of melody, Esther. Good morning. And good morning to the peace loving people of Mama Liberia. I'm Dakana and I'm here in California.
The voice of melody. The melodious voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be careful, yeah. Praising each other's voice. You gotta be careful.
Yellow money.
Afana, you better be careful.
I knew we were gonna make this take it.
What's up, man? It's good to be
Yeah, we're
here on
doing
the
good.
Thursday. And folks, we're here to bring you those stories making headlines in the print media. So those of you following us, we'd like to say a pleasant, warm welcome to this presentation. And Jude Wanwe is following Duete. Duete is following. It says, good morning from my end, Minnesota. Hope you guys are doing good this morning. Thanks for the great job. Yes, we are doing good. And Honorable Emmanuel K. Brockhorn is also following from where? Just don't know. Well, this morning in our studio, we have 4 local dailies. On my decks, the Analyst and Inquirer newspaper.
And on my decks, I have the Heritage and the Front Page Africa newspaper.
So now to take much of your time, let's run a few stories for you, and then we can draw together our analysis and then open up the phone lines, engage the views of those of you tuning into this presentation. And like I said, on my decks is the Analyst and the Inquirer newspaper. So I'm going to jump start with the Analyst newspaper. The motto says, for those who strive for better Liberia, is the motto of the Analyst newspaper. And on the front page, those of you watching us, you can see here, this is all of the stories you see on the front page. Those of you watching, this is the front page of the Analyst newspaper. And as you can see, GOL reacts to McCarthy's censure, exhibit proof of sincere strides to conquer post-war woes. Mm-hmm. And here's the photograph of the outgoing U.S. ambassador and the president, the talking dual president of Liberia, His Excellency Dr. George Manewia. And let's run a few lines of this story. Many must have thought outgoing United States Ambassador Michael McCarthy had already left the country, an exit news that was well publicized following his end of tenure until early this week, when he released a scathing critique for both the executive and legislative branches of the Liberian government. From rather cursory rounds he expressly made in the hinterland, though the McCarthy outburst coming on the heels of his departure and on the portals of the election still is subject of debate, with some arguing it is ill-timed and undiplomatic, while others contend it is appropriate and necessary. The government is not taking it lying down. In a measure reposed, the government believes much is being done amid mounting challenges, and that all is not as bad as the United States ambassador may think. So let's leave that story and take our final story here on the front page of the Analyst newspaper. We dare the government to arrest Justice Scott. UP Secretary General Twe says plan is to undermine JNB's naming of running mate. It says, as controversies continue to trail the murder case of the late Charlo Musu, the Secretary General of the United Party, Amos Twe, has said there are indications that the government has concluded plans to arrest Councilor Gloria Musu Scott as the killer of the young lady. And there, the government not to contemplate on the action as it will be resisted, asserting that alleged plan was crafted to undercut the momentum being built preparatory to the naming of the running mate to the standard bearer UP, Mr. Joseph Nyumabwaka. Continuation of this story is on page 8. It's very, very much interesting. Let's run a few more lines of it on page 8. And continuation here says, speaking in a live phone in the program on Wednesday, who had gone to the studio to give an update on the activities leading to the program slated for Friday, April 28th, during which the party will officially unveil its number 2 partisan, said that the party is not taking the rumor of the alleged arrest and will not sit down why the government commits marriage of justice using the murder case. We are getting indications that the government has been finding ways to reduce the momentum of Friday's program. So we are being told that they have been advised to arrest Gloria Musso-Scott. But I want to say to you, or who is anticipating to that, you attempt to arrest Gloria Musso-Scott, you will have to arrest all of us on that Thursday. 12, who stated that the case has been compromised, wonder why would someone ever believe that Councillor Scott would be doer of the Death Act against a young lady that was born in the woman's hands, crawled in her hands, went to school from her support from elementary and got her college education. What would someone think that Gloria Musso-Scott would want to kill her own daughter in glory? This is very spit on the part of the Secretary General. Who is he to stop the government from taking action against Gloria Musso-Scott? Well, let's leave the story and run to the back page. We get to that story in depth. Let's get to the back page of the Analyst newspaper. Liberia seeks seat on IMO Council as Maritime Boss announces Liberia's candidature. Liberia has formally made a request to the International Maritime Organization to seek a seat on the council. The request was formalized on April 26, 2023, in the United Kingdom when Liberia Maritime Authority boss Eugene Nambe verbally informed a gathering of IMO 33rd Assembly session of the organization about Liberia's candidature for election to a seat in the category A on IMO Council. By now, every member state of the IMO have received Liberia's note verbal channel through your respective embassies to the Court of St. James, and or may have read the IMO published version on the IMODoc platform. These documents relate to Liberia's candidature for election to a seat in Category A on IMO Council at the 33rd Assembly session of the organization. And then the blanketed, confusing statement, Rep. Swakoko Dennis indicts Ambassador McCarthy, but in what is being described as a complete detour from the torrent of commendations the far greeted U.S. Ambassador McCarthy press statement in which he highlighted the government of Liberia's callous disregard for the interests of the citizenry. Continuation of the story is on page 9. Let's see what was said by Rep. Swakoko Dennis. Let's get to page 9 quickly for the continuation. All right, page 9, I'm there. And so let's see what she says here. In what is being described as a complete detour from the torrent of commendations that I have far greeted the U.S. Ambassador McCarthy, press statement in which he highlighted the government of Liberia's callous disregard for the interests of the citizenry, especially rural dwellers. Montserrat County District Number 4 Representative Rosalind Swakoko Dennis, in a statement that April 26 to 23 on social media, said Ambassador McCarthy's April 24, 2020 statement was illegal and misleading to the extent that it left not only the citizens themselves confused, but destroyed the confidence of those lawmakers who continue to decry corruption and other malpractices within the legislature. Before you came to Liberia, we advocated strongly, especially the like-minded lawmakers. Your blanket statement did not only hurt or weaken us, it was intended to frustrate our efforts and destroy our public images in the eyes of our constituents. With all the sacrifices, Representative Dennis said of Ambassador McCarthy's statement, which she felt was a blind, sentimental attack on the entire legislature, especially when there are others in the legislature who remain untainted by the stench of corruption. In your recent state, you address multiple issues of bad malpractices in certain sectors in those counties. I am elated that you visited some of the hard-to-reach areas in Liberia, and thanks for the face-to-face interactions with people and the experience. Mr. Ambassador, while I agree with you on some issues raised in your statement that has to do with the lack of accountability, misappropriations of public funds, donor development, that's donor funds, bad governance, and other acts that undermines our development as a nation. And we'll leave the story and take most on the back page. This one, NDC talks tough on pre-election campaigning, reinforces stipulated fines between USD 1K and US 5K. Numerous complaints from the political parties and other stakeholders about the flagrant violations of the electoral laws covering pre-election campaign. The National Elections Commission yesterday, Wednesday, took a tougher stand to speak out on the issue, vowing to fully implement the February 28, 2023 revised and public guidelines on campaign and spell out the fines to be meted out against violators in keeping with the laws of the land. Continuation of the story is on page 10. You grab a copy. Lastly, ArcelorMittal CEO assures host communities of equal employment opportunities. And those are all the stories we can take from the Analyst newspaper. Let's run quickly to the Inquirer newspaper. And on the front page, it says voters trucking practice is illegal. De La Hoz reminds the NEC as political parties get campaign guidelines. And we'll see the EU ambassador accredited near this capital is photographed here under the caption, voters trucking practice is illegal. De La Hoz reminds NEC as political parties get campaign guidelines. And another story says LRA instructed APM terminals to release US 100 million cocaine. First subpoenaed witness testifies. The defendant first subpoenaed witness in the ongoing US 100 million cocaine case testified yesterday, disclosing that the APM terminals released the cocaine based on the instructions from the shipping line and the Liberia Revenue Authority. In his testimony at the Criminal Court C, the Deputy Managing Director and Chief Financial Officer of the APM terminals, Emeka Ogbaji, said APM terminals role in continuation of the story is on page 10. Because of time, we will leave it right there, and you purchase a copy of the Inquirer newspaper and get to know the full detail of the US 100 million cocaine case that is currently ongoing at the Criminal Court C. And then this story, conspiracy allegation with Senate Secretary Drake's George Mappé before JIC. The judge of the commercial court in Monrovia, Eva Mappé Morgan, is expected to face the Judiciary Inquiry Commission for the second time in less than a year for allegedly conspiring with defendant Bola Singbe, Secretary of the Liberian Senate. This came after the Chief Justice of Liberia, Sae Yenayo, April 4, George Morgan, the JIC, for allegedly conspiring with defendant Singbe in a commercial dispute that is pending before her at the commercial court. The commercial dispute was raised when two Czech Republic, where's the story? Continuation is on page 10. It says when Czech Republic investors Martin and Pavel Melozhowski show their Anthony. In fact, Hans Armstrong filed a lawsuit against their minority shareholder Singbe in an action derivative suit for audit and accounting and to turn over the affairs of the corporation and corporate assets to the new management of the MHM Eco Liberia. The Melozhowski brothers' lawsuit was intended for Singbe to account for the monies and equipment they had sent to him when Singbe was then president and chairman of the board of directors for the management of MHM Eco Liberia. Armstrong's complaint dated April 18, 2013, accused George Morgan that without the knowledge or approval of him and his lawyers, George Morgan ordered her sheriff Emmanuel Moss and Singbe to conduct an inventory of the MHM situated in Wiante, the subject of the litigation. Further to his complaint, Armstrong claimed that George Morgan's action came while the case is still undecided and without notifying him and without any request from any of the parties. She single-handedly made her decision, which is unethical and needs to be investigated. And that's the story there. Conspiracy allegation of Senate Secretary drags George Mappy before the JRC. And then lastly, for the front page of the Inquirer newspaper, Liberia elevates Category A election quest at the International Maritime Organization. To the back page, police reveals victim identified. The Liberian National Police confirmed that the man shot dead by armed robbers on Tuesday afternoon was actually a judicial worker and not the Fula businessman. The police, through its spokesperson Moses Carter, though failed to give details of the incident, promised to speak on the situation in subsequent time. However, the police identified the deceased worker as Samuel King, trying to prevent the robbers from hijacking the Fula businessman around the Monserrate compound adjacent the Lefoco mattress factory on the Bourgeois Island, which in a keke. The armed men intercepted the keke at the front view of the Monserrate compound, and it was during the fight that Samuel King was shot by the robbers using a single-barrel gun, said an eyewitness. The bystander continued, and after committing the crime, the perpetrators placed their guns in a guitar bag and escaped before the anti-robbery unit of the Liberian National Police could arrive on the scene. And then lastly, for the back page of the Inquirer newspaper, regional clinical and research laboratory scientists meet in Abuja. Medical doctors, laboratory technicians, and other scientists have gathered in Abuja this week to talk about ways to improve the quality of laboratory management in the region. The 9th annual Celebrate Lab West Africa runs from Wednesday, April 26th to Friday, April 28th at the Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center. This year's conference will focus on the major diseases that are affecting the region, like diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases. Africa comprises 17% of the world's population, but represents 50% of global diseases, infectious, and non-communicable diseases. Conference participants will discuss the theme empowering the laboratory for surveillance research and early detection of emerging and re-emerging diseases. And those are all the stories we can take this morning from the Inquirer newspaper. Let's run to Esther to run a few lines of the front page Africa and the heritage.
Well, of course, there's more started with the front page Africa newspaper. Top story here says warning against voter trucking. Head of European Union mission Liberia, Loretta Lahoz, cautions political parties aspirants against violating election laws. Page 8 has the story when they have already. But that, let's look up more. APM terminal clarifies role in U.S. 100 million cocaine cases. The Liberia Revenue Authority has direct oversight in checking containers at the free port of Monrovia. When they also brought that story, let's bring you more. Pushing for Category A, Liberia Maritime Authority canvases for Liberia's premier recognition in the maritime industry. Page 5 has this story. You can also grab a copy to read. Liberian government response to U.S. ambassadors concerned over rural health and education. And of course, this is also on the front page of this paper. After meeting with Uri and Costa and confirming Kun as running mate, Waka willing to dance with the devil. Well, of course, I think we want to take some lines from here. Let's see what page can we find this story. Let's see if we have it on page 2. It's right here. Joseph Boakai, the standard bearer of the United Party, is set to announce his running mate on Friday. The announcement of his vice standard bearer has been eagerly anticipated, and unless there is a last-minute change, Senator Jeremiah Kun is expected to be named to the position. However, his choice of running mate does not seem to be going down well with some of his long-standing political allies, such as Benin Ayure of the All-Liberian Party, Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence, and Henry Costa, who was recently positioning himself as a potential running mate to the 78-year-old standard bearer. After announcing his decision to the rest of the world, Boakai was invited to U.S. home on Wednesday, where he joined Costa and other members of both the UP and ALP teams to reconsider the announcement of Senator Kun as the vice standard bearer. But being bent on his decision, which he sees as his surest way to win the election, Boakai stuck with his position. Sources familiar with the discussion informed Front Page Africa that Ure, who exhibited signs of disappointment, questioned Boakai about whether he was prepared to dance with the devil by dealing with Senator Prince Johnson and Edmund Snow. Some say that these two senators are the excess baggages that comes with selecting Kun, as they will exert their influence in him through Kun. To their dismay, according to the source, UP standard bearer told them if dancing with the devil would make him win the elections, he was prepared to do so. Mr. Ball was quoted as saying, "Even the devil has a role to play. I don't like Prince Johnson, but I have to work with him to win." Front Page Africa has not been able to verify his quotation from Mr. Boakai, but Mo Ali, a political officer to Boakai, who was also not in attendance at the meeting, categorically denied station. He said Boakai has said he was prepared to work with anyone. Jeremiah Kun has been taking over as the political leader of the Movement for Democratic Reconstruction, a political party that was founded by Senator Prince Johnson. Senator Johnson stepped down from his position and handed over the leadership of the party to Kun after being hit with sanctions by the U.S. Department of Treasury. The sanctions were imposed on Senator Johnson due to allegations of pay-for-play schemes where he allegedly received large sums of money from government ministries, organizations, and for his personal benefit. According to the allegation, the involved government ministries and organizations loaned a portion of the funding and returned it to the participating individuals. The pay-for-play funding scheme involves millions of US dollars. Johnson has also offered a sale of votes in multiple Liberian elections in exchange of money. The sanction against Johnson come under the Global Massacres Act, which authorizes the U.S. government to send those it sees as terrorist offenders, freeze and ban them from entering the U.S. Political analysis speculate that Senator Johnson, who holds significant sway in Nima County, the second most populous county in Liberia in terms of votes, outcasted Kun's nomination as the vice presidential candidate for Boakai in a bid to retain his political relevance and influence in the country's governance. Johnson's prior endorsement of Kun helped him secure a seat in the House of Representatives and subsequently the Liberian Senate. Well, of course, the stop you there. Let's look at more stories from the front page Africa this morning. Let's see our interesting stories from this. I think so far so good. That's all we can take from the front page Africa newspaper. Let's look up the heritage this morning. Liberia elevates category A election quest at IMO. This is on the front page of this paper. Of course, let's see some lines. The Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberia Maritime Authority, Leon Eugene Nangba, is advancing food and new to ensure that Liberia gets to category A of the International Maritime Association. Of course, let's look at more stories. Government response to U.S. ambassador's assertions provides details on disbursements to health institutions. And of course, let's take some lines from this one. Let's take some lines from here. The government of Liberia says it acknowledged concerns raised by U.S. Ambassador Michael McCarthy in a press statement issued on Monday, April 24, in which he highlighted the state of some health and education centers in parts of the country, as well as efforts Liberia is making to decentralize development. The country continues to make significant progress since the end of the Civil War. Well, we will have to up to there. Of course, run to the back page this morning. Government playing lip service to counter centers. U.S. envoys assessment report reveals. Of course, we have already brought that. EFFL warns troublemakers finally pens Farmington agreement. Well, this is the final story on the back page of the Heritage newspaper. Let's take some lines from it. It has been barely 3 weeks since the 26 other political parties signed the Farmington Declaration that aims to promote peace in the ensuring 2023 presidential and legislative election processes. The economic freedom fighters of Liberia resolved and finally signed the agreement just yesterday, April 26, 2023. The declaration, which is in line with a previous agreement signed during the 2017 presidential and legislative elections, aims to prevent violence that tends to undermine the conduct. Page 10 has a completion of the story. To undermine the conduct of the ensuring October 10 presidential and legislative elections. It is geared to ensuring a violent-free electoral process, with political actors being cognizant of the need to maintain a peaceful environment before, during, and after the 2023 elections. The EFFL did not sign the agreement at the time due to some commotions between Mr. Gonkwe and presidential guys, the Executive Protection Service. However, the party decided to sign finally, with political leader Emmanuel Gonkwe sounding a caveat to all would-be troublemakers. But of course, that's where we stop you on that story. You grab a copy of the Heritage and the Front Page Africa newspaper for just $40 Liberian. Let's send controls back to you, Wendell.
Thank you very much, Esther, for bringing us the Front Page Africa and the Heritage newspaper. So we're going to recap, as usual, we'll recap all of the stories we read, and then we catch up with our break. And then when we come back after our break, you're going to be hearing the voices of Dapana and Gus. And then later on, we will take calls. So we start with Esther Brothers, the Heritage, and from the front page of the Heritage, Liberia elevates Category A election quest IMO. And this one says GOL responds to U.S. ambassador's assertions, provides details on disbursements to health institutions. And the Grand Bassa County Student Community supports President Weah re-election bid. NEC announces U.S. one-time would be violators of election law. And Liberia to host next FCWC Ministerial Conference. To the back page of the Heritage, the story there, government paying lip service to county centers, U.S. envoys assessment report reveals. And then lastly, EFF warns troublemakers, finally pens Farmington agreement. That's the Heritage. The front page, Africa, the top stories, warning against voter trucking. APM terminal clarifies role in U.S. 100 million cocaine case, pushing for Category A. Liberia Maritime Authorities canvases for Liberia's premier recognition in the maritime industry. And then the big story here says Liberian government responds to U.S. ambassador's concerns over rural health and education centers, inaccurate accounts. All right, while the government recognizes that there is always room for improvement, particularly in the allocation and disbursement of funds for essential services, the narrative as expressed by Ambassador McCarthy is inaccurate. Ledger Hood Renning, Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism. And lastly, for the front page, Africa newspaper, after meeting with Uri and Costa and confirming Cohn as running mate, Bwaka willing to dance with devil. That's the story there. So we're done with the front page Africa. So the analyst, GOL reacts to McCarthy's censure, exhibits proof of sincere strides to conquer post-war woes. We dare the government to arrest Justice Scott. UP Secretary General Twe says plan is to GMB's naming of running mate. To the back page, Liberia's 6th seat on IMO Council as Maritime Boss announces Liberia's candidature. Blanketed confusing statement. Rep. Swakoko Dennis indicts and McCarthy, but it's a conjunction. So let's leave it. And then the story says NEC talks tough on pre-election campaigning, reinforces stipulated fines between USD 1K and USD 5K. And then Salamita CEO assures host communities of equal employment opportunities. And let's take our last inquirer. Voters trucking practice is illegal. De La Hoz reminds NEC as political parties get campaign guidelines. LRA instructed APM terminals to release U.S. 1 million cocaine. First subpoena witness testifies. And another story says conspiracy allegation with Senate Secretary drag George Mappé before the JRC. And lastly, Liberia elevates Category A elections at IMO. Backpage, police reveal Ambrose Tem identified. And then lastly, regional clinical and research laboratory scientists meet in Nigeria, Abuja. Those are all the stories we brought to you this morning from 4 local dailies. Let's take our break, and then when we come back, we will be joining our partners.
Mama, you need to No, stop it. You can't do that. Are you a boy human being? Let me roast that thing. You take one piece in your booty. Let's stop the kind of thing. If we catch criminal or some of them commit crime in our community or whatsoever, take that to the law or carry that to the near police station and report that to the police. Let the police themselves investigate and find out whether he right or wrong. Yesterday, I was coming from Keba. A brother walked along truck. I said, no. They said the truck hit the motorboat ball. All the motorboat men across the Keke men get and they said the one point the driver in the truck. They're wrong. Let's stop more violence. Maybe the accuser or somebody that you feel are criminal, they may not be criminal. But when you take them to the police station, based upon the police investigation, they will tell you that they may that criminal or not. Please, people.
Who are you?
You police.
Why you have more peace?
Yeah, come here. Yes, you're all right. As I was saying, let's stop that kind of thing. Take it to the law. You not get one right. Under the law, nobody right until the law can say you are right or wrong. Please, I beg you, my people.
Who say you?
If I say who tell you?
So say who?
So say same Zion. The man who care, crime stopper. He don't want to say, I'm going to tell you, nobody must take the law in a head. Don't say they say in the mouth, say, Zion say, don't the law in the head. You will do what be the what kind of to come attack me.
Yeah. Yeah,
you. Hey, all it out there. Oh, my son, I'm looking at it for you.
Rabbi, why you taking?
I said, darling, you look so worried.
Charles, I'm worried because I don't know where to get stuff for my shop and restaurant.
Oh, come on, man. Haven't you heard about Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and Small Junction on the old road?
No, Charles, tell me about it.
Exeter's Best Price got everything for your shop and restaurant. And the good news is that they have reduced the prices of club beer products and imported beverages. So to keep that graduation party, wedding reception, and whatever occasion jumping till the break of dawn, Exeter's Best Price Store is that place for you.
Is that all?
No, they have for the first time introduced on the LRB market Buffalo Revive that comes with 4 different flavors. Cool Blue, Apple Kiwi, Full Red, and Fitness Orange. It's good for athlete and everyone. For wholesale and retail supply, call cell number 0770-617-575. Exeter's Best Price Store on Gurley Street and the Old Road Smart Road Junction. We are your cheaper wholesale and retail store.
When you want some more, I provide. So we start to talk. Come on, so go in deep and deeper. Put in toto ichiki. We are living sense in
Are you in search of a place you can get quality petroleum products? Well, news for you. Mayoba and Sons Incorporated is the company to meet all your petroleum needs. We are one of Liberia's leading import and distributor of products on the Liberian market. We are fully capacitated to deliver your petroleum and diesel products anywhere in Liberia. Mayoba and Sons Incorporated, we do rental of dump trucks, tanker trucks, heavy equipment, D8, front loader, excavator. Our clearing and forwarding agency is fast, reliable, and can deliver your goods on time. Mayoba and Sons have improved the quality of reconstituted distributions and importation by financial institutions empowerment. Our head offices are located at the Garnersville Town Hall Junction on Barnesville Road and Freeport Sigma Compound on the Bourgeois Island. For more information, call us on cell numbers 0886 512 379 0777 379 or 0777 255 030 or email us Mayoba MAYOUBAS@yahoo.com. Visit our website www.mayobaliberia.com. Our mission is to keep petroleum on the Liberian stable, effective, and efficient. Our vision is that our president be felt in the 15 counties with outstanding commitment. Mayoba and Sons, Liberia's pride.
This company is owned operated by Liberian, and 99% of people that work at the institution are all Liberians. It's a 100, Liberian owned company, Mayoba and Son, one of the giants in the importation and distribution of petroleum products on the market. And those of you catch up with the newest drink on the LRB market was brought into the country as Best Price Store. It's called Full Local Beer. It's in 4 different flavors. All right. So just go any entertainment center, little corner around your area, and just ask for local beer. It's supposed to hit the LRB market. All right. So if you want to get a new taste of beer, Full Local Beer is the one to ask for. And don't forget to know that Crime Stoppers is proud to be associated with the program from the Print News. So let's send controls to the USA and hear from our guys. Yeah, boy, you can talk.
Go ahead, Dapana.
All right, I was gonna be waiting for Gus.
I know,
All
right?
right, I got a few stories that I would like to speak to. Firstly, I want to re-echo what the European ambassador said, European Union ambassador said, voter trucking shouldn't be allowed. It's unacceptable. That is an electoral violence. You cannot be trucking people from one place to another only
Violation.
because you feels that you haven't performed. Because if you perform, you won't be able to truck anybody. You'll be relaxed. You depend on the resident of that district to be able to really let you based on your tangible, based on things you have done. So those who are there chucking people, then those are people that do not have confidence within themselves. Even the new people that are running over there, you can go and sell your platform to the people, make the people to know that you are the right person, convince them. You got to convince them, but you cannot be chucking people from one place to another. That is totally wrong. So I agree with the ambassador, Belarus. I think it is totally wrong. That's electoral violence. Let me go to this. How you call it? Sometimes I don't blame these guys when they speak the way they speak. I don't know who is this guy calling himself Secretary General of former ruling party, challenging, defying the government. Who are you to defy the government? What authority do you have to challenge a sitting government? We all know, honor your watch. When Unity Party was in power for 12 years, we know why you guys did. You shut down radio stations. Mr. Wendell Neiman, them, they were affected. You shut down Voice FM. You shut down all of the radio stations and your trample upon freedom of press. So there were a lot of wrong things that you guys did. Did anybody go challenging you guys? That's a sin of Amos Square that went and lie that the action that took place at the United Party chairman resident that was done by the government. Later on, when the fire service went there, they did their fire fact funny. It was electrical fault due to some generator that he had in a yard. So this guy, he don't even know. I prefer more than this guy because he's just reckless. He speaks like he didn't even go to school. You ever want to challenge the government? Okay.
I'm telling you.
If the police come out and find Grob Muska and how you call it a laudable for whatsoever I want to arrest her, who are you to challenge? So I think that was a big bluff. I listened to him on OKFM. That was a big bluff. Unity Party got no authority, no right to challenge, those people, to challenge the government. The government is on top of the case, and the government is professionally handling the case. So we need to give the government a chance. Let us stop how you call it, trying to make it look like somebody waiting on anybody. If the government waiting on Grob Muska, they should have been in jail ever since. We are the ones that are beating on the government because the government is taking its own time. So it's wrong for Amos to speak the way he spoke. Yeah, definitely. So let me jump on the last one here. I don't know. I think I enjoyed that headline from the Funky Africa. That after Boga met with Costa, Yombly, Ure, is then he finally agreed to be with the devil. I think that's a good one. That's a good one because these are the same people. Few weeks ago, they were there, how you calling Prince Johnson names. But today, they are in bed with Prince Johnson. So that's not the devil. But I will not talk much. Tomorrow is stone throw away. We're waiting. So let me pass it back to Gus. Gus, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I'll start off with where you ended with that whole situation. Again, politics is very interesting. I'm just glad that Congo is going to be selected, and we can see how this is going to work out. Don't forget, for the last 2 or so years, or probably 3 or 4, actually, almost this whole Magnitsky Act and has been one of the things that's been hanging over this government and this president neck. He's dealing with people that are deemed corrupt and deemed how you call it, sanctioned and whatnot. Well, if the leading opposition is now dealing with those people that they once thought was wrong to lead Liberia or be any part of any kind of a governance structure of the country, it says a lot about our people. It says a lot about our citizens that are going to be voting. What are these people up to? Is it deception as usual, or is it really just, um, you know, this is my opportunity. I'm going to do what I can. It's interesting. I still wait to see what the other political leaders are going to do because I mean, it would be an affront to me if I was Mr. Henry Costa, Governor Yuri Young Kanga, and them. These people have been around for almost over 5 years, okay, working together, keeping this unity party alive. Unity party is not even a party. If any of these other, if all of these other political parties did not stay along with them in a collaborating political party, unity party would have been uh, something of the past after Madam Salih, because we know Mr. Barker was never going to have the guts and fortitude to be able to move this party ahead. A lot of people would have been gone and moved on to other places. But be it what it is, we're still here to see how it goes. It gives the president the best chance to have this one-time first round victory, which will be a lot of savings for the Liberian people. So for me, I talk to the citizens and every other Liberian that are in that country. No matter what the challenges are today, there are still things to be looked at and know that, with all of our challenges, we have ran this country, President Josh, we have ran this country on its own for the first time in, I don't know, 20 some more years. Not 20 some more years, probably almost 40 years, right? 30, 33 years, because 1990, when the war started, right? So you think about that. We have now been on our own without somebody else's assistance. And you have a president that has done that in 5.5 years. With all of the challenges, you should still be rest assured us Liberians that you know what, this is part of the success story. Part of the success story is for us to say yes, we can govern ourselves, that we are governing ourselves, in the midst of the challenges. So I'm proud of that, and I hope the government spend a lot of time on that. The other thing was, what's the information minister Ledgerwood just coming up and making a statement does not suffice, man. Let's be real. Give us some tangibles. You say if the last statement was wrong, okay? What was the budgeted allocation to Catawayan Hospital? I'm just going to leave it to my district because I know a lot of stuff that's going on over at that hospital. What was the budgeted allocation to my district? Who was it allocated to? What was it spent for? Uh, is the hospital functioning? Because I know it's not. Is it functioning to this capacity? No. Just coming and making a statement does not make any sense, Mr. Randy or whatever you want to say his name. Sometimes you just gotta let something go. And all of you imposition people, the man time is over. Why are you fighting with him? Don't forget, even though this man is not going to be in Liberia, he is still part of this system. He is going somewhere else, and everything that he has, he can share with. He has to share with the next person coming in. We don't need to do the tit for tat. Be adult. Be over. I mean, get over all that stuff and let's move on. The main time is over. You can say whatever you want to say. If we have anything to count out, we can do it. And then Swat could go sit down somewhere, man. We don't care about what you're saying. You can keep your. If you're worried about what the man said, you deal with him at another time. But you will be working like a regular citizen coming in next election. You will not be in that position again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Esther, you want to add up? Then, okay,
yes.
let's hear from you.
Just before we come to you, Wendell, the issue of the Secretary General of the
Amos
Party.
Twe.
Thank you.
Mm.
That kind of statement from a man like himself, is very reckless, Wendell. And what I see in it, I see threat because why were you even in the first place want to challenge government? Who are you to challenge government? You cannot the government for the fact that it go the legal process. There's nothing you can do about it. Absolutely nothing. And so the issue of Joseph
Instead of
Boakai
Musa
Nimi
Din
is
making
running
a man
Melon tomorrow.
frisky. Musa Din making a man frisky.
Exactly.
To speak the way he spoke.
And of course. So to the issue of Boakai naming his running mate on tomorrow, I think we all listen to
Yeah.
the mayor's greeting is clearly stated there. He's interested in who's gonna make him win. He's not thinking about whether you guys supported him from the beginning of this entire thing up to this point.
Yeah, that's
all
a
he wants
Mhm.
is to become president.
Yeah, that's
period.
that's a complete disappointment to his political allies because they all started fighting today. They have been sidelined. So, I mean, serious disappointment. But, I just don't want to speak to that. The issue I want to speak to, I don't blame Amos Twe. Like Dakmana said, you see, we were here in this country and we continue to be here. When statements were made, we woke up many times and there were accusations against the government of killing people here and there. Human beings parts were being extracted from them. And then you had somebody who is a political commentator coming up to accuse or sitting lawmaker of trading human parts. And then you have the authority, the government. Let me use the word the government. The government out there allow they go on to the drink. I mean, this man came up and said Jeremiah Cohn has been trading human parts. Right. And there were times a lot of people from the opposition accused the government of being behind some of these killings. Mm-hmm. So the government was supposed to bring Henry Costa, provide your evidence, since the man has been trading human parts, and people have been accusing the government of, killing people here and there. Come and prove it, because it's a grave allegation.
That's one thing about this.
It's a grave allegation. Look, trading human parts is not a small crime, and the man who Boakai is going to be named tomorrow has been linked to that.
Definitely.
So Esther,
he has not tried to vindicate himself in the middle of it.
It's a serious allegation being leveled against him. For his integrity, his character, and all of that. He would say there's a lot of things to go there, and Henry Costa said, "Man can't talk all." So what the other thing that man can talk that Costa know about, he needs to come and tell the people. Seriously, human parts.
Costa is in country. He was never called in for questioning.
All the killings that went on in this. Yeah. Oh, when you wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, that the government doing that one," that government sending people to kill people. When you see the other person partner there, they take their liver from there, they take the kidney from there, they did it from there. And there's somebody who is vying for state power came on and accused the person of being the mastermind of being selling human being parts in this country.
All of the time accused, they don't even try to do anything about it. So what does it tell the public? It tells us that it's
because you have a minister, because you have a justice minister who's supposed to be taking the lead. He's not doing it because he's whining and dining opposition. So let Liberian people go and sit down and let them do things on their own. You sit down and people that will be selling will catch you from your horses and kill you, then they take your part to go sell it.
India, we were all here the last time when they had that protest, the second protest. The police discovered 2 arms on a Yoruba car. They came out and they denied it. After a few weeks or months, after the confusion happened between Yoruba and Costa came out and admitted that it was true that Yoruba had the arms in a car. What the police did, what Musa did, nothing. They didn't call Yoruba for questioning, they didn't do nothing. So that's why I say the Minister of Justice is the one that making Amos Twe to speak recklessly, to speak the way he always speaking. Because when they talk this thing, they don't call them for questioning, nothing.
It's bad though. It's a serious allegation. Jeremiah Cohn is into the business of trading human parts, and then not one single invitation was sent to him to appear before the Bureau National Police for questioning. And the very Costa man who accused this young man of trading human parts is in the country. I don't know what he at the country or stay in the country. This man is going to be named as Joseph Boakai running mate on tomorrow. I know, nothing is going to stop it. So there's serious confusion in the camp. The people from Young Man disappointed. The people from Costa End are also disappointed. For me, Costa Pa, I don't want to put him there because Costa has said a lot of negative things about Boakai. All right? Costa has said a lot of negative things about Boakai. So coming up today to go and be a running mate to Boakai, for me, I didn't see it. I knew it. Though that there's no day Boakai is going to take Henry Costa as run. For me, I didn't see it coming. I really didn't see it coming. But that's it. This is Liberia. Let's pray for the best, for the better things to happen in our country. That's all we're praying for every day. We want good things to happen in our country. But all the people they want to see all the things they've been saying. The other man one time he came from the other political party, the PLP man, he went and shot himself, says attack.
Yes, the Secretary General.
Somebody shot him. Yeah, when the BN guy, the one BN, when they went through the investigation, they found out that the guy shot himself. They orchestrated a lot of things to link the government, but then the government too just sit there and allow these things to just pass, and nothing is done about it. This trading him up is not very weak. There's a lawmaker. There's a lawmaker from Nigeria who is currently, I think, behind bars in England for this same trading him up thing. He's in jail. A senator from Nigeria.
Yes, I read that story.
Because they accused Jeremiah Cohn, the police did not call Jeremiah Cohn to say, look, this is an allegation against you. The government have been accused so many times about trading him apart, about killing people. So what can you say about this allegation level against you? Nothing was done. The man who accused the country, he was never invited to the police to answer to questions. So let's take our calls and get out of here. Folks, you can call on 07 104 104 086 500 104. And if you're outside Liberia listening or following us from YouTube or Facebook, the WhatsApp number is +231 86 500 104. Esther is going to read out the comments when we get to the comment section. She's going to do that for us. So let's start to take calls. We're allowed every caller 50 seconds, not 1 minute now. Today we gave because we don't have much time. So 50 seconds is ample enough for you to make your point. Let's talk to our first caller. Hello.
Yeah. Good afternoon, my dynamic brother William Nimle. And Mr. Good afternoon to Esther.
Yeah, warrior, but we had it from you. The dynamic warrior, we had it from you. Come in, hide it. Morris, morning, my man. Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, brother. Yeah.
Mr. Nimle, that's a representative in your own right.
Yo, that man.
My name is Morris Coleman, the Chair of Operation National Response and Defense Team, Ala Propo Defender, and I'm joining you guys from my resident Johannes Market, Bananville. Brother, we know Nimle and Esther with other guys in the U.S. Let me just commend you guys for the program. For Amos Stewart, that brother is a reckless man. I will say they were for free. Why you coming from to say that if the government go the government Grand Mususka arrest, you will resist? These are the things the guy was doing when man was in power. This is some of the things they used to do when they do it, they go scot free. And let me just say something today. Most of the killing that been going on in this country, it's the opposition are doing the killing. For common example, for this lady, for this death or the lady, it expose the people. Let me just be clear and say this. These people, they want to be doing all this mass death killing in this country here. And but for me, the justice minister, but one day, the God that was serving, the Almighty God that was serving,
Okay.
he will expose that brother.
Thank
That
you.
brother come to both that he knows about most of it that going on. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. Let's take this person here from where. Hello, caller. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Wendell and Esther. Hello, Mr. Wendell. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. I would prefer you Mr. my last name, not the first name.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, you just said Wendell. It'll be cool with me. All right.
Okay, Wendell.
Yeah, good. What's up? How are you? What's your name and where you join us from?
Anyway, my name is Cyrus, calling from Asia.
All right, Cyrus. Let's hear you. You have a minute.
Yeah, actually, like you already spoke all of the present event has happened. You see, for Jeremiah within Ganta District 2, there's a guy they call Prince Howell. He was burned down because of the sin at the accused Jeremiah of, and Jeremiah best friends. Let's say a business partner at that time in Ganta and that Jeremiah brother, but they are all doing business together. And when Henry Koza come out and say such a thing, I think police need to just get the Jeremiah guy. And even the Henry Costa, because what Henry Koza is linking Jeremiah to is true, because such a thing happened in Nema, the brand, the guy hotels in Nema, you can do your father checkup.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to this line. Take this person. Hello, your name and from where you join us. Go ahead. We're listening. Okay, choose it.
You know, we're not doing anything because the reason there is that most of the things just see that everybody not bring people, and I will not blame most of the thing. I will blame the president. But we shall come, which is coming for towards them, we hear the difference because we are there complaining on the particular young man, and the president is able to take action on the particular man. They move that thing there. The president want to take action at all. And the job because they started, they man just playing with the kids, playing with the kids. So they had anything.
Well, you have to call us back. I don't know what happened to the line. Hello, welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
How are you?
I'm okay. Welcome.
Okay, I'm calling from SKD.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to commend you guys for the topic this morning. See, sometimes for the most of the brother having this country for the accusing the government, but if you have an opposition below myself when I'm listening to the Valley General yesterday, I was so angry because most of the things we blame President Weah. But after the election day, we just talking to President Weah to take a justice minister off. Take a justice minister off. So after that one program, I didn't want to put the whole way because, for example, AFP, they are warning others to go down to attend that program tomorrow. So that's only for the meeting. Yeah, thank you this morning.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take another person quickly on this line. Hello. Well, we did not cut you off, but keep your calls coming in. 077-6104-104-086500104. Let's have this person. Hello. Welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Thank you. My name is Mark Kibaki, open from Kankure.
Go ahead.
Yes, with regard to this witness that Jeremiah Kuhn is involved in, we are waiting tomorrow for JFB to announce him as a running mate. And we are going to demonstrate through the street and sign a signal only to President George Weah. If he don't take a stand, we citizens are going to advocate that we vote against him with regard to the justice ministry. And as for Amos 12, the law is going to be between both of us, and we will get to him to the last end.
to make sure justice comes to our nation, Liberia. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you there. Let's take another person. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Well, thank you so much, man. I like about dream of reading for the community. I want to say good morning to and we were of boss and Tapana, you don't say. My sister, I want to say thank you for your presentation this morning on the air. The issue about the thing was living at me in this country, this guy, they say they want to come and help, but they're not helping or they're scaring or to help. In a way that God is God that begin this statement, they are not buying ready shaman cup. God is praying for continue to come in this country. The Jews that will live in the country that want money, the company or whosoever that have money to come in this country to carry on some project for all the local citizens to benefit. But the temple of Jews, they are sending up to the international community and they're coming back to make for the making to all. They are not being well to the citizens. And so, according to the government to caution the meaning, where the statement coming from, and the material, the end, or the fact or the statement, and so thank you so much for your.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's take this person. Hello. Caller, are you there?
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Abraham C. College.
Go ahead. 50 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let me tell you this, man. Anyway, thank you for the program. But I'm not about Amos to anything. What can I tell you is, you can defy government. Who are you, by the way? If the government want to carry on an arrest or to investigate any matter, who are you? But I don't blame Amos to Amos to I blame the justice minister. The ambassador George, we have seen that the government falling in a manner. When people say government killing people, extrajudicial killing, they will get justice minister. When standing on there, he ain't doing anything about it. I don't know what is the ambassador. We are getting the justice minister. So tell me, it's 100% right. To defy government. Who is he, by the way? Yeah? So,
okay.
When all that people that made, they form a blood.
Okay.
We don't have the same thinking. I don't know what the president is thinking about.
All right, your points.
Your
points are taken. Thank you very much.
Thank you for putting me in the time.
Okay, let's go to this line. Take this other person. Hello. Caller, are you there? Well, I did not cut you off. Let's take this other person. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. Extra tackle. This is Jacob Carter. And it's a good afternoon to Mr. Nimne. Let me say good afternoon to Eugene Takwana Smith and to Gus Coleman.
Okay.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know. I'm not too conscious with the U.S. time, so that's why I use 3 into 1. I'm a supporter of the government, but highly supporter of this regime. Actually, President, what the guy has said in the various corners, in the communities, in the secret closets is coming to pass. That President Weah is making us to know that the guy said 2017 that President Weah lack of leadership in terms of decision making. He's clearly showing it to us that this man will continue one day. And today, from the days of Sekou Chevy up to now, they're crying on this man, that this man should go away from this government, and the president is not listening to us. For me, I and my family are controlled out of grooving in this 17. I can say that I can go and tell people that if President Weah does not change their man, who will campaign against Georgia.
No. Now, no. Don't can say that. We will not allow you to say that here. All right, we'll not allow you to say that. Please, let's be civil on how we address this issue, please. People shouldn't threaten the president with votes. All right. We will not allow people to do that on this platform.
Okay, let's take this person. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
on the radio, I don't think it's necessary. If the justice minister refused to look into the case and got arrested, I think we should just leave it and the president know what he's doing, because we know the second term, many of them are being replaced, and I think that the death step. The term is already ending. I mean, we have short term, 5 months. I'm asking all my colleagues to stop the threat. The threat of not voting for CDC, leave it. You have gone a long way. You have struggled with this party and want this party to go second term.
Sure.
And in so doing, we should put away the Gloria Musso-Scott business because Justice Minister Dean don't want to take action. I mean, he's a partisan Justice Minister. We all know. We know the kind of person he is. We shouldn't mind that kind of behavior and make ourselves to lose the election.
Okay.
Because I know UP can't even win.
Thank
all
you.
The 12 in one waddle. I mean, it's just another speaker headed man they brought to be saying this kind of crap. So thank you very much. Wunde.
Thank you. Let's go to Esther to read out those comments, and then we come back and we close. Quickly get to our comment section.
All right, from the comment section, we have Juju One says, "Good morning, my Freedom family, watching from Johnsonville." We have Duet Tyre says, "Good
That's
morning."
Duete.
Duete, okay.
Yeah.
Says, "Good morning from my end, Minnesota. Hope you guys are doing good this morning. Thanks for the great job, Honorable Emmanuel K. That's
Blocon. A small country name though.
He says, "Good morning." We have Jomel Richards says, "Good morning, Freedom FM families. You guys are doing good. Watching from Zuba Town behind the President football field. And for this evening, I don't know where you are, but it's morning, it's afternoon here anyway."
Maybe they play in the evening.
David Johnson says, "I'm watching from market. Good morning, my big brothers and Esther." Kingston Jesse Willer says, "Following from Plonker, Brewerville City. Thanks you guys for the show." Hezekiah Dodo says, "Good morning." Yankee Johnson says, "Good morning, big brother. I'm watching." And Alexander Kion says, "Watching from Dubo Road." Duet is making to all. Peterson Doe says, "Good afternoon, guys. I'm watching you from Freeport, Town, Doe community. Keep up the good work." And we have June Smo. He says, "I'm watching from my office, Ministry of Information, live." Collie Small David says, "I'm watching from Grand Bassa County, District 4, Compound number 3. And Tyler Boy says, "Good morning from Coffee, Duba Road." Duete again says, "I know, right, Takwana, who he thinks he is to challenge the government." Moses not Topa is also watching. Progress Orita Johnson says, "Takwana, please remind Wendell about the guy who called last night saying Wendell should cast his vote." And of course, Duete again says, "You don't have to be here, brother." And Gadi Passe is also watching. William Huff says, "I'm William Huff watching from Minnesota." Lawrence F. Pico says, "Keep up the good work. I am watching from Oro, VP Road." And now it says, "Good afternoon, watching you from Pipeline community." Well, so far so good as in the comment section.
All right, thank you very much. And we want to make clear to all of you, our followers and listeners. We know your vote is important. All right, your vote is very important for the re-election of President Weah. But it's not because of one person business you will come and threaten the president with your vote. Please, we'll not allow you to use our platform. All right, like one of the callers said, time will tell. So please, don't threaten President Weah with your vote. President Weah deserves another 6 years. So we need to work and make sure that 6 years is given to President Weah. But when you call in and say, "Oh, because of the president will not vote for the president, will go encourage other people not to vote," don't do that, please. We'll not allow you to do that on our platform. So I think so far so good. Those are all of the comments we have, and that's all we can say to you. We'll go back to our guys, and then we get their closing statement, and then we out of here. So Gus and Dapana, let's hear you.
Yeah, well, yo, thank you. Sorry I had to intermit a little bit in my work, but yeah, again, I'm gonna follow up what you stated. That I mean, especially CDCNs. Again, I keep reminding you, prior to this president ascendancy to power, you know how 12 years was. Okay, go ahead and listen to all these people, and then you'll find out again what the next 6 years will be or more if someone else, like especially the Unity Party. Unity Party should not and never be given a chance again in in Liberian politics, especially with the likes of Joseph Boakai, who have had the opportunity to serve. Now, if it was a different person on that ticket, I'll say you give him a chance. But right now, for you to bring back somebody that had an opportunity and squander it or was parked would be an injustice to your own intelligence and even your God-given right that you have, to be able to exercise. Why would you waste your vote to somebody that had an opportunity and was parked, squander it? Don't forget, this man have ran other institutions like the LPMC. Okay, we see what happens. He's worked with other people, political parties, and you see what he does to them in the end. He dashed them for the person that the highest bidder. Is that what we want to do for Liberia? I'm going to tell you guys this. Swallow your pride, fight your fight, make sure you stay on the battlefield, and make sure we can emancipate our people. Thank you. You have a great day.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wendell and Esther,
Yes, sir.
I want to appreciate all the callers for putting their points across. And I also want
We
to
have.
things
You
that
wanted us to talk. That one, I'm sorry for interrupting, but you wanted us to talk about some issue concerning Grace Pan. Have you done all of your background investigation now?
yeah, I'm wrapping up, and when everything is done, I will let you know so that we can be able to
Okay.
how you call it, let the public know. But there's a comment.
Okay.
Somebody said I should remind you. Yeah,
Well, now that
Winda.
UAE, that Grace Bank, UAE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grace Pan, something, her institution did something, but I want to get everything together before I speak about it. But that is totally wrong. But with our brother that always call that has the issue with his foot. I don't know, I can't remember his name, but he always call from the brother area. I
I
think two
think the guy
Liberian
is called.
families will help.
Yeah, he's called Amandu. One Amandu from.
Amandu.
He has.
It was very scary.
Yeah,
It
the
was very
iron.
scary. Yes, it was very scary. He called last night and he almost like giving up, like want to give up in life. And he said that he will take his voter card and give it to you so that when he leaves this earth, you'll be able to cast his vote for President Weah. And, it was troubling last night. I listened to him the way he spoke. He was very frustrated. It's like he want to give up now because he said the pain is too much. He living with a lot of things. So I think that's what
Yeah, and
that commenter was reminding me. But I think there's a need for us to
yeah,
see how we can reach out because we can
yeah.
afford for that brother to lose his life.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
he's always a threat. He always threatening to take away his life, and I always told him that you can't do that because I know your condition. I know how painful it is. I know what you are going through. But it wouldn't help when you take away your life. So a couple of people called and made promises of him because he said he wanted to travel to Ghana. Somebody told him he was talking to a doctor in Ghana, and the doctor only told him if he can only raise his medical bills or maybe his transportation or with some money to get him to Ghana, the rest would be done by him. So a couple of people called and made promises. Since then, we haven't gotten any word from them. As we speak, the guy called me up this morning, and he also said the same thing to me that Wendell, I feel like giving up. I want to give up, and I said you can't do this. So at this point, all we can do now is to, put up this SOS call. There is a brother who lives in the Broadview area. He went through an accident. He had an accident, okay, and his foot got broken. And as we speak, he got iron in his legs. And according to him, he can't sleep. He just in pain 24 hours. So whatever way you want to help this guy to get his medication in Ghana, I'm told he's targeting 1,000+ United States dollars to get him to get to Ghana and to do his work. So whatever way, those of you listening outside Liberia, in Liberia, whatever way you can help, we really appreciate you to save a life. All right? Because the life you save may be yours or that of a friend. So please, people, whatever way you want to help, you can reach out to us. We'll definitely get to our brother Amandu, who I'm told is listening right now to this program. So Dapana will work things out behind the scene. We gotta go.
Definitely. All right, thank you. Goodbye to the Manola voice.